Okay, so I'm going to talk about Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is the one book that completely rewired my brain, and I need to get back to it because sometimes if you don't touch something for a long time, it kind of disappears again. That's how our brains work. We have to repeat things until they get natural to us. Like, I don't know if you've ever learned a language but then you abandon it halfway, you're gonna forget it like super fast. Um, so it also works that way with beliefs, with habits. If you don't stick to it, if you don't stay consistent, it's gonna disappear. So that's why we have to repeat, repeat, repeat. That's how we do it with anything. That's what we're gonna do with this book. So basically, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It's a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has written many other books, but this is the book that I think most people know. And it's basically about how we, and also I have to say that there is a very strong correlation between Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and the Four Agreements. Because both books basically talk about how we form beliefs in our head and how they shape our lives. So basically, in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he talks about how one can actually change their reality according to what they believe is real. So, if you, for example, if you were born in a household where money means hard work, that's like the classic ones, and you were born believing that you have to really, really work hard for your money, it doesn't come easily to you because money is like, like you have to work hard. I know that there's like sentences like money doesn't grow on trees and stuff like that. So if you were born really, really believing that because that's how you saw your parents go about their day and that's how you saw your grandparents, how they lived, everyone worked hard and they got by. So you grow up with the belief that you have to work hard to get money. Therefore, you grow up and you want to be something else, right? You want to do something fun. You don't want to work hard, but because in your brain you have this belief that it's impossible, then no matter what you do, you can't seem to get money off of the things that you love because you have this belief, and therefore you subconsciously block opportunities that may come your way if you weren't blocked. There are many, many explanations in the book about it's like I have it right here actually. Um, like this is the book. It's really large. So I'm going to break down the main points, but basically, I'm going to get straight to the solution for most of you because it's just sometimes he gets a little like he has a long-winded way of saying something really simple. And I feel like this book can also be explained in the Four Agreements book. So basically, there's like survival states and elevated emotion states. As people, we are most of the time in a survival state, which means everything is kind of happening to us. We are not even aware of what's happening during the day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you go to work, you get back from work, you take your kids, you do that, and you get back home and it's like 11 p.m. and you haven't gotten anything done. And you don't even feel like you have gone through that day. You feel like that day kind of happened to you. So this is a survival state. This is when your body is kind of on autopilot and everything's sort of happening to you. And that's when you're not aware. You're not in your body because your body is kind of like, dude, I'll take care of this. You don't need to do anything. I'll just do what I'm used to do because you've been practicing the same habits for so long that they're not even like work for you. You're just doing them and they're in your system. So the solution would be meditation, obviously. But here he has like a specific guided meditation that he's like writing down. But honestly, the bottom line is that we have control over our lives and we can do whatever we want to do, but we have to break down the beliefs that we're holding. which is, I just realized it's gonna take a lot longer, but this is basically the gist of it, is that when you want to change your life, you have to look at where you're doing things that aren't aligned to you and that aren't doing you well, and kind of notice where that came from. And that really, really works when you are meditating and you're kind of asking yourself questions, and then kind of visions come to mind. And that's when you can remember things. And sometimes you already know what you want to change, and you know where those limiting beliefs came from. And that's, I'm not saying it's easy to change limiting beliefs, but when you meditate, you have a softer, I feel like our brain is more, it's really easy to explain it like it's clay. And the older we get, the harder the clay gets. But meditation is sort of water in a sense. It brings softness and the ability to change things. So when you're sitting with your mind, now I'm going to make a separate video on how to meditate, because a lot of people apparently don't know how to do that, and they say things like, oh, but I have too many thoughts. Dude, we all do. Everyone has a lot of thoughts, and the only time where you don't have any thoughts at all is when you're like super hype. I don't know, even, I feel like even the best meditators, the monks, they don't really have an empty mind. It's just that they are so present with their breath or with whatever they're focusing on that they can't hear the thoughts. But we're humans, so our brain works in a way that thoughts are always going through our head, and it's never gonna be quiet. And it's not about being quiet in there, it's about being present with your thoughts and being present with your body, just looking at it. This is what is called awareness. So that's a whole other video. But for now, all you need to know is that you are capable of doing whatever you want with your life. And I will make another video about the 4 agreements and how to make things a lot simpler. But for now, that's all you need to know. I might make better videos soon, but I want to make something so that I could just give this information out to anyone who wants to hear it. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.